Shabam. Bam. 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 It's live. It's live. The YouTube's is live. We are doing the lives. I've totally missed where I'm supposed to drink coffee from. Bam. Bam. I'm all about it. All about it. All about it. I don't even know what's happening. I got a notification. Why did I get a notification? Why do I get a notification when my thing goes live? Why is that a thing? I get my own notification? Now live on your channel. It tells me that I'm live. I know I'm live. The Turd. Welcome, Chris. The Turd. Yeah, the Turd. T-minus 25 days. Yo! What's going on? Tyler, Adam, Daniel, Scott! Everyone, what's poppin'? Bear, you know, we're just gonna go with Bear 1 because I'm just gonna butcher that name. Hey, up in here. What up, my guy? What's going on, dude? Hey, man, Fox. Yo! When is the EG33 going in the STI? I'm so excited. So, I do have an update for the EG33. You guys will see it in tomorrow's upload, which I still have to edit after this. I get the heads back for the EG33 on Sunday, so our heads will be here. We need to assemble the entire long block. So they're going to ship us the heads and the short block. So the heads show up Sunday. The short block should ship out next week at some time. And then after the blob eye is done, we're going to start on the EG33 in the 17 STI. So, I mean, it's kind of cool that they're sending it in two separate pieces, just so that way we can check out like the inside of the EG33, see everything that's built in there also. So I'm super pumped for that. The head studs we'll have to install ourselves. They're going to be they're half-inch head studs, so it's not going to be any different than installing like standard head studs either. So I'm stoked. I'm stoked. The EG33 is coming back. It is coming back. Our built 1200 wheel horsepower EG33 capable is coming back. Should be here Sunday. Well, the first shipment of parts should be here Sunday. But yeah, very soon the EG33 stuff is going to start. The way that I'm going to do it is, as soon as the blob eye is done and tuned, we're going to transition into the 17 STI with the 6-cylinder, start getting all of that fitted up in there, and just start getting all the good stuff going. So I'm super excited for that. Yo, what up, Oversight? Do I follow myself? I don't think I can subscribe to myself. I don't think that's an option. If I could, I would, but I don't think I can. Send a shout out to Nebraska. Well, Chris, shout out to Nebraska, I guess. All of Nebraska. Why are you in Nebraska? Why are you living in Nebraska? Have you always been in Nebraska? Did you move to Nebraska? You guys ever say a word like too many times and it just starts sounding weird? Ricky, what up? Christian, what's going on? Yo, I'm hungry. Got any crayons I can snack on? Oh, I have Sharpies. I don't think you want to eat Sharpies, though. Hi, Tanner. Emailed you earlier. I bought a Radium dual catch can for 2015 WX, and it looks like the Cobb intake is in the way of the mounting bracket. Any thoughts? Be creative. Try to figure out a way. There's always a way to make it fit. Like, you can always make something fit. You're just gonna have to like get in there, start like maybe engineer your own bracket, maybe make your own bracket, try relocating stuff. I mean, there's a ton of stuff you can go through there and try to do. I would try to go in there, maybe move it a little bit, maybe trim something off if you have to. But I mean, there's always a way to make it fit. Hi, what up, Tyron? Hello. Domino, or Domo, I don't know why I said Domino. Afternoon all, through the link in the Discord. Hey, thanks, Fox. The Discord's popping. If you guys aren't in the Discord, get in the Discord. How's the 05 STI coming? I have the same issue with the buckets on my 05 STI. They are pretty noisy. The 05 STI, I just got the turbo inlet in. A lot easier than what everyone made it out to seem. The 84mm FP inlet, actually not difficult to install. I think the worst part was just cutting a couple brackets so that way I can move the PCV crossover tube. But aside from that, like, no issues at all, except for the fact that I tore 2 of the injector O-rings, so I just overnighted some replacements. But aside from that, like, that FP turbo inlet, not difficult to install at all for everyone. Everyone was hyping it up way more than it should have been. Like, it incredibly easy to get that thing installed in the car. But for the most part, it's coming along. I shot an entire video. It's all on this SD card. I don't think I'm going to upload it or even edit this video because it's like a 15-minute video of me just stating how much I dislike Perrin performance. But for those who are curious, I did sell the Perrin headers that I had set aside for the car, and I ended up ordering a set of Killer Bee Holy headers. There were just a ton of fitment issues with the Perrin ones where they were literally rubbing against the radiator fans, and if I would have ran those headers on the car, it would have either caught the car on fire or it would have melted the radiator fan again, and I'm just not about it. So I do, and I had to bend the front core support to even get the header out of the car. Which is absolutely absurd. So I did pull those off. Somebody did buy them for their 15 STI. Down in Oregon, I have to go ship those out right after this. But they fit like GRs and VAs just fine. But GD chassis, no, not at all. Saucy STI, what's going on? Pulling the trigger on a 14 WRX hatchback next week. Ooh, very nice. I can always get behind some hatchbacks. I like hatchbacks. Did I tell you I got tuned yesterday? Made 490 wheel horsepower on a Dynapack E85 XR Black. I'm going to send you a graph right now on Facebook. Can you see it and talk about it, please? In a little bit, we can. Yeah, 100%. Super excited. I got the Stage 1 E-Tune from Torqued Performance and love it for my WRX. Eric is awesome. Eric's a really good guy down there. Eric at Torqued Performance also said to get the Grimspeed intake over the Cobb Big SF because the Cobb is the worst one. Quote unquote. It's weird. I've seen some tuners really like Grimspeed, some tuners really like Cobb. I mean, every tuner has their own preferences for everything, but if he is a fan of the Grimspeed one, by all means, snag the Grimspeed. IAG Comp or Street Series V3, of course. That entirely depends on your setup, Carlos. The Street Series doesn't require a tune, so if you're not looking to get a tune, get the Street Series. If you're looking for like a customizable tune setup with the Competition Series, then by all means get the Competition Series. IAG has a complete breakdown or a chart of what air oil separator you should run on your car based off of your fuel type and all this other stuff. So if you haven't already, go take a peek at that, and that should help clear up like any questions that you might have about which one you might want to get. You're getting pressed for time if the EG33 comes back soon. No, I mean, the EG33, we'll set it on the back shelf. We'll keep it clean. We'll keep it like away from any dust, debris, anything like that. We'll keep it in a nice, safe spot. I might keep it in here, actually. I don't really know yet. The dogs are chasing something upstairs. But no, there's no rush to get the EG33 in the car. I'm excited to get the EG33 into the gray STI or the 17 STI. But right now, my main focus is getting the Blob Eye up and running and good to go. Especially how we're like hard pressed for like time on the tune. It's like, it's stressful. It's stressful. What's normal AFR min max? Depends on what your driving is. If you're like at idle, you ideally want it to be stoichiometric at like 14.7. It's always going to like move around a little bit though, so around 14.7. If you're watt, whatever your tuner sets it up at, maybe it's 10 to 1, 9 to 1, 9.5 to 1, 11 to 1. I don't know what your tuner is going to set it up at. When you come off throttle, your AFRs are going to like dip down into the super lean range for a minute, totally normal. But I mean, that's kind of like a brief overview of it. But I mean, min max for AFRs kind of depends on where you're at, like driving the RPM band. If you're watt, partial throttle, full throttle, not on throttle at all, kind of all depends there. Hey bro, so great to catch your live stream. What's going on, Paul 17 STI? Is the Cobb fuel pressure good? Asking for a buddy. It's all right. Like I ran it in the 17 STI. All it does is add a parameter on the access port, so that way you can monitor your fuel pressure. You can either run a analog fuel pressure gauge or you can run a digital one like the Cobb one. Both of them are good options. The analog ones are a lot cheaper though. So my little mistake with the trunk shock may end up being a $2,600 repair. Fox, don't kill the Beetle already, dude. Don't kill the thing. What's your plan for breaking in the new clutch on the Blob Eye before the tune? I already have the base map, so as soon as we get the car up and running, I have the base map so we can go drive it around a little bit to break in the clutch, but if not, I'm not too concerned about it. We'll go break it in on the dyno if we have to. If we have to, we'll go break it in on the dyno. Send it. Yes, I've been living here since 2018. We've discussed, you know, dude, Chris, there's so much that's going on, man. I don't remember that you moved to Nebraska. Like, come on. First time replacing the clutch and saw that you put a new one also. Any do's or don'ts, tips? Pull the motor. That's going to be the easiest way to go ahead and swap out the clutch and the flywheel. If you're reusing the flywheel, check for flatness on it and hot spots. If you need to get the flywheel resurfaced, by all means, then do so. If you have a new flywheel, then you're good to go on that one. But I mean, it's pretty straightforward when doing it. It's a lot, like I said, it's a lot easier to pull the motor than it is to drop the transmission. If you are going to be dropping the transmission, just be prepared for like a struggle and a battle to get that thing back in. It's just not enjoyable to do it underneath the car. I hate being underneath the car, like at any point. I don't enjoy it. I don't like tight spaces where I don't have any, like, I have like 3 inches between like the car and my face. I'm not a huge fan of it. So pull the motor. Make sure your friction disc is centered and straight. Even though you have the clutch alignment tool, the friction disc can be like off center just a hair. And if it is off center a hair, just makes putting in either the engine back to the transmission to engine a lot worse. If you don't like remember where all your bolts and everything like that go, it doesn't help, or it does help to put them in like a bag, label the bag, or do like a cardboard like template cutout, something like that, so you know what bolts go where. But for the most part, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I'm debating on turboing or supercharging my BRZ. My vote, turbo. I enjoyed my turbo BRZ. I loved that thing. Obviously, the space issue with the BRZ was a problem, but personal preference, I like turbos. You can only go so small with the supercharger pulley, but with a turbo, you can easily swap out the turbo, throw on a bigger one if you want to make more power later on. You don't have to swap out the entire system. Do you recommend buy the access port for the Subaru STI? 100%. It's going to be your gateway drug into all Subaru modifications. Which would you recommend, turbo or supercharging? Like I said, turbo, it gives you more options later down the road if you want to make more power. If you want something, if you're like happy with like 300 wheel horsepower or something like that, a supercharger is going to give you a lot more of like a naturally aspirated NA feeling, where it's going to be a lot more linear in the power band, and it's not going to smack you in the face like a turbo would. On the Ava chassis, is it AVA? VA chassis, gotcha. Is it safe to jack up the car from the middle of the side skirt instead of the pinch welds? As long as you're on the frame, you're totally fine. Don't do it on the side skirt because you're gonna like bust a hole right up into the floor. Just make sure you're on the frame of the car and you will not have any issues. Got my car tuned by JR on Thursday. Congratulations, JR is a very good tuner. But my car is overboosting 25 PSI with 1 bar 14.5 spring, 38mm external wastegate, but got it fixed. Next week, JR will tune it remotely. Very nice. You're driving the Pan American Highway. I saw a Facebook post about that. It's like the whole way, all the way to, it's like 14 countries or something like that. What is your car you're driving, people you're traveling with, your go-to gas station snack, and what is on replay on the radio? The car, if I could have any car to drive that entire trip with, it would 100% be like a GT3 RS or GT2, whatever one. I'm like impartial to either one. Both of them would be very fun cars. People I'm traveling with, I don't know, anyone who wants to go. Like, I'm down, like anyone who wants to go. Gas station snack. What are those things? The P3 like protein bite things? I don't know why I love them. You get like walnuts, you get some cheese. I love cheese. You get some like turkey or ham or something in there. It's the perfect snack. Perfect driving snack. Perfect. And then what's on the radio? That's a hard question. I don't know. It'd probably be something like Avicii or like maybe Martin Garrix or something. Something along those lines. Hi from Vancouver, Canada. What's going on, man? I'm about to eat with my family, but wanted to say hi. We'll watch it offline later. Love your channel. Well, enjoy dinner, my friend. Enjoy dinner. Hopefully it's something tasty and delicious. Colorado passed a bill requiring carb catalytic requirements. Time to move Nebraska. Keep it up, homie. That's what I'm saying. Oh, remember, what was it, last Friday's stream when I was like the EPA started to take away parts? I knew it. I was right. I was 100% right on that one. Who was it? Eric, who sent us the digital torque wrench, which, by the way, thank you for sending over that torque wrench. He did reach out to Rally Sport, and the whole reason Rally Sport is removing like TGV deletes, external wastegates, is because of emissions compliance. So they will no longer sell a lot of stuff because they have to fall in line with emissions now. So I knew it. Regulator. David. Oh, the Cobb fuel pressure regulator. Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's like the fuel stumble fix kit. It's like the OEM GD replacement fuel pressure regulator. All it is they're like removing all the unnecessary fuel dampeners in there. But yeah, I mean, it's a good fuel pressure regulator if you're trying to stay like under 400 wheel horsepower. FA20 K&N intake are good? Question mark. I mean, they're okay. I mean, there's other options that I'd probably get before K&N, but K&N's not a bad option if you're looking for like a drop-in filter or something like that. Is 23 PSI too much boost for 16WX with Grim Speed, catted downpipe, and Cobb intake? Washer Nerd entirely depends on the tune. If your tune is set to 23 PSI, then by all means, it's totally fine. If you're set to like 20 PSI and you're overboosting up to like 23 PSI, which you shouldn't since you have a catted downpipe, then no. As long as the tune is set for 23 PSI, I wouldn't worry about it. By the way, the sweater looks really how. By the way, the sweater looks really how, and also... Oh, the sweater! Gotcha! The hoodie! The hoodie! Yeah, the hoodies are awesome. I have, like, the old, like, super old one. I don't even sell these ones anymore. This is, like, Gen 1 Smedia hoodie, where it's just, like, Smedia on the side of it. But, yeah, those drive hoodies, they're awesome. Like, I keep telling you guys that if you don't have a drive hoodie, they're going to be out. And when they're out, I'm not making any more of them. Like, that's it for those black drive hoodies. What is it? All I have left is, like, medium and, like, extra large. I have a 15WX and I bent a rod. Looking into it, where should I get information about the parts I need / forums? If you're looking to do like an entire engine rebuild at that point, I would just buy either a replacement OE block or an IAG block, depending on how much power you want to make. The defining factor of what block and what parts you actually get is going to be what your horsepower goals are for the car. If you're just looking to get it back on the road, buy an OEM block, slap it back in there, get it tuned for whatever parts you might have on there. If there's no parts on it, just drive it normally. Do AJ69 viewers, just drive it normally and do standard maintenance, and it should be fine. If you're looking to make power, that's when you're like, all right, what block do I need? What, like, you need to start looking into all of these other supporting modifications for whatever your power goals are. Would doing the ECU reset on my 15WX on a real-time tune mess up some stuff? Car is throwing an air fuel, throwing off AFR and 0.625. Damn, was just at 1. I mean, if you're mad exhaust smell in the cabin as well, check for exhaust leaks before you go in there and do that. If you're smelling exhaust inside of the cabin, I would check the header, the J-pipe, make sure all those gaskets are good, because if you're smelling exhaust, that could be a reason that the dam is dropping if you have a significant exhaust leak if you can hear it. As to answer the actual question, would doing an ECU reset on like a real-time tune, I'm assuming by real-time tune you mean just like a pro tune on the car? No, it's just going to reset ECU learning. You're going to have to go through the relearn of the idle, relearn of cruising, and everything else. But I would definitely start with like checking out for exhaust leaks before you do that. Eric, what's going on, dude? Hey, brother, been following for a long while now and have been curious about this, but I'm most likely trading my Stage 3 2007 WRX for a 2005 S2000. Jealous, because a S2000 is one of the Hondas that I would like to buy. Do you have any opinions on the trade or on S2000s? I like S2000s. If I could get an S2000 in the future, that's definitely a car that I would want to get. I think the AP2s are a little bit better than the AP1, so if I was to get one, I would get the AP2. But I mean, as for like trade-in stuff, you'd probably be better off private selling the car than you would be trading it in. I would definitely try to list it up and go like get cash for the car. Trade-in value, they're going to give you like blue book or wholesale cost, and you're not going to get much for the car, especially for like an 07 WRX. Dealers and all these other people just see them as like they wholesale them for like $4,000 or something like that. I would definitely try to private party sale the car, and if you are looking at an S2000, I would definitely consider like an AP2 if you can find one. 9.1 to 11.1, is that really where Subarus are happy under watt? It seems really rich. Entirely depends on the tune, your turbo setup, your fueling setup. There's a lot of factors that go into it. The 9.1 to 11.1 was just an example. It's just going to be more on the rich side. Appreciate the dono, Ruiz. FP green plus stock block. Doable, depends on the stock block you have. If you have a Type RA block, it's going to be a lot happier on the Type RA block than it would be if you were on like a standard popsicle stick EJ257 like the 2017 STI used to be. But I mean, it's doable. It also depends on how much power you actually like plan on shooting for. The FP green's a very good turbo for stock location. You have any clutch recommendations for 5 to 600 wheel horsepower? Check out X-Clutch. X-Clutch is awesome. I like X-Clutch. I've got one sitting in the garage that's rated up to like 985 foot-pounds of torque. But I mean, clutches aren't rated in wheel horsepower ratings. It kind of comes down to torque ratings, but if you're shooting for 500 to 600 wheel horsepower, I'm going to estimate your torque's probably going to be around 485 to like 520-ish. The ACT HD SS, which I believe is like the heavy duty standard clutch replacement or something like that with their like street light flywheel or their pro light flywheel, is good for 525 foot-pounds of torque, which it seems like that should be in the realm of what you're shooting for power. I meant to say Cobb fuel pressure regulator. Totally got it. Totally corrected it. If it's good or not, the IAG equal length headers. So I was taking a look at the IAG equal length headers the other day when I was ordering my Killer Bees, and it looks like the IAGs are just rebranded Tomeis. I cannot confirm, and I'm not 100% like that is like fact, but they look like rebranded Tomeis, and if they are, I mean, they're still a good header. Also, Briar, did I get that one right? Briar M. Seeing a little more smoke come out of the exhaust than I'd like. Basically, same setup as your blob eye on E85, of course. Should I start with the PCV AOS? Check the return line on the AOS. If the AOS, and depending on the turbo, if you have a ball bearing turbo and you're not running any restrictors in the oil feed line, that could be one of the reasons you might just be over oiling the turbo. If you have a journal bearing turbo, then it shouldn't be a huge issue, but I would definitely start with the AOS. Check the return line on the AOS, make sure that nothing is clogging it or gunking it up. After that, start checking some of the PCV hoses if you want to. Hopefully it's nothing like a head gasket and you're getting some oil into the cylinder head. If it was, it would probably be a very small leak at that. I'm assuming the car is still running just fine. But I would start with that. I would check the return line on the AOS, verify if it's ball bearing or journal bearing, and if you are running an oil restrictor, going to the oil feed line for the turbo. If you're not, I would definitely consider adding one in there because you could be over oiling the turbo also. Also, appreciate the dono, man. Appreciate the dono. AFR jumps up to 20.44 when foot is off gas, but sits around 14.6 to 14.7 at idle. It's totally normal. Totally normal. Nothing wrong with that. Steve, yo, what's up, Steve? Connor, what's going on? Also, huge shout out to Connor. Connor sent over an AEM 340 liter per hour fuel pump for the blob eye, so huge shout out to Connor. Thank you, my friend. Greatly appreciate it. That is going in the car tomorrow. Hey man, I'm looking at some Cosmic Racing XT006Rs. For my 06 STI, they're 18x9 plus 30. Do you think they would fit without space? I have no idea. I have no idea if they're going to clear the brakes or not. I thought that some other wheels that I've ran in the past would clear brakes, and they didn't clear brakes, and then the ones I thought wouldn't clear the brakes ended up clearing the brakes, so it's all over the place. If you're looking at, like, would these specific wheels fit, definitely go look at Fitment Industries, their gallery. I don't suggest buying wheels from Fitment Industries because you can definitely get them cheaper other places. But one good feature about their website is the gallery. You can go in there and see like what other people run. Go see if anyone uses that specific wheel size or wheel on your car. And that should give you a good representation of if they will fit or not. Ricky, OTS tune, by the way. AFR drops to 11.03 when getting into boost. Totally normal. Totally normal. Wouldn't worry about it. AFR staying at 14.6 to 14.7, but when I let off the gas, goes to 22. I just pulled the intake. Read the math. That's totally normal, Joe. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're cruising and you're idling at 14.6 to 14.7, and then you let off the gas and it goes completely lean for a moment, that's totally normal. The injector stopped spraying fuel in there, so it's going to go lean for a minute. You're normal. Also, Connor, appreciate the dono, my friend. Appreciate the dono, you guys. You guys absolutely kill it every single stream. I call working under a car on jack stands working with T-Rex arms. It's facts. I mean, you're sitting there like trying to like get anything, and then like it's worse like when you drop like a bolt behind your head and you're like trying to like reach back. It sucks. Then you smack your face on the exhaust and you're just get that blob eye done. Can't wait to see the dyno graph. That's what I'm saying. We're waiting on 3 key parts to come in. We still need our front mount, we still need the header, and we need the downpipe. After that, we can start the car, we can get it burped, we can get it bled, we can get all the fluids pumping through it, we can go drive it. If going FBO Stage 3 Flex Fuel Tune, could a stock airbox still be efficient enough to support that power, or is an intake necessary? If you're going Stage 3 on a Flex Fuel, I would suggest, if you're going full bolt on FBO, I mean, that's going to include an intake. I would highly suggest getting an intake. I mean, the stock intake can be fairly restrictive. Some people say they were able to hit like 400 on stock intake. I haven't seen any dyno graphs that actually prove that they were able to do so, but it's rumor in like the mist or something along those lines. But I would definitely consider getting an intake. They're not crazy expensive. Who's going to tune the Blob Eye? Chris down at Surgeline. Our tune date is February 9th. So it's like a Tuesday or something like that. So I'm excited to get the car down there, throw it up on the Mustang dyno. I'm a fan of Mustang dynos over like dyno jets. I think Mustang dynos just give a more realistic representation of how much power the car actually makes. But power numbers are completely subjective to whatever dyno you go to and everything like that. But I am excited to get the car back on the rollers. T-Rex arms, that's what I'm saying. I fully agree with that statement. What should I do to get around 300 wheel horsepower on an FA20? If you're just looking to make like 300 wheel horsepower, Pro Tune with a boost controller, intake, catted J-pipe, EGR delete, TGV delete, AOS, radiator's not a bad idea either. Charge pipe, intercooler if you can afford it. If you're getting a front mount though, no need to get the charge pipe because it's going to include all the piping. I believe I said a 3-port electronic boost controller. I don't remember. Low pressure fuel pump, and that should get you there. Tyler, appreciate the dono, man. Yo, hope you're having a great night. Sorry I'm late. Anything I missed yet? Not much. Just kicking it, hanging out. The EG33 starts to come back this week. The heads will be here on Sunday with the cams and the head gaskets. I believe the head studs will be in there too. There's some big boy head studs. They're half-inch head studs. Like, do I have a tape measure in here? I do. How big is like half an inch? Because like I'm awful. That's a big head stud. I mean, that's a decent size. Oh, that's an inch and a half, not half inch. I can't even read a tape measure. But yeah, EG33 parts start coming back this week. Totally pumped to get that motor back in here. I have a question. I know basic maintenance on these cars and willing to fix them up. Do you think I could buy a WRX? I know a little bit on GD chassis and EJ25s as a whole. Yeah, for sure. I mean, even if you don't know something, it's a very good learning opportunity to be able to go into the engine. I mean, shit, there's stuff I learn every day whenever I'm out there working on something. But by all means, yeah. I highly suggest, if anyone is willing to put in the time and the little bit of money to make a GD chassis awesome again, I totally recommend GD chassis. The driver feeling in a GD chassis is so much better. I think it's a lot more connected and a lot more raw than it is with like the GRs or the VA chassis, but by all means, yeah. My Blob Eye has flat pinch welds. Yeah, my Blob Eye does too, and it wasn't for me, unfortunately. Yesterday, got a cell during cold start in the morning, P050A, cold start idle air control system performance. I don't know what happened there. Is there something I should be concerned about? So just looking at that, it sounds like it could be secondary air pump related, just because the secondary air pump is what controls cold starts by pumping in all that extra air. So I would keep an eye on it. If you get any more codes that might come up, I'm guessing if you do, they are going to be 100% related to the secondary air system, whether it's a secondary air valve or the pump itself. Hopefully it's not. If it is, I would just suggest removing it all, deleting it, and just getting the block off plates and get your tune adjusted to get rid of that altogether. WRX STI videos. I sent the photo on Facebook, waiting for you. We'll pull it up here shortly, man. We'll pull it up. Also appreciate the dono, man. I don't want to get like crazy far behind in the chat tonight either, so I'm like trying to keep up with things too. Trying. Got a damn drop 0.625 after the ECU reset, was just on E85 and some 91 running fine at 0.1. Just filled up with straight 91 and got damn drop. Any ideas? So damn drop to 0.621 after doing the ECU reset. If you just did an ECU reset, it's going to take a little bit for the dam to go back up to 1. But if your dam did drop after filling up at a new fuel station, you could have gotten water in the fuel system. Nothing like your fault, but the fuel station just could have had water getting into their underground tanks. Hopefully that's the case. Just stay out of boost, run that tank dry, go to a different fuel station, fill it up again. Hopefully your dam goes back up to 1. What up, fam? AJ, what up? I have an 05 Legacy GT STI drivetrain swapped EJ25 with TD05 green turbo. My compression showed plus or minus 125 PSI with a 9 to 11 on leak cylinder. What do you think? I mean, sounds like a healthy motor. If everything is within, what is that? I want to say it's 5% on the compression test. It's a healthy motor. If it deviates more than 5%, I think that's when you need to worry. If leak down came back 9 to 11, I don't think I'd be worried too much either. Sounds like you have a healthy motor. I would run it. Sorry if I missed it, but who is doing the tune? Surgeline Tuning is doing the tune on the 05 STI. Cobb Stage 1 Plus reliability on 2014 WRX in the long run. Have a Crawford AOS and installing Get a Dom Tune mod soon. Don't plan on doing any more engine mods besides catback exhaust. Sounds like you'll have a solid daily driver. Sounds like it'll be solid. No tinfoil cats in here. No tinfoil cats. No cats. Hey Tanner, what should I look for when buying a used R400? Just make sure there's no holes in the exhaust, to be honest. I mean, you're going to have to buy gaskets. Holes, no holes, make sure it comes with hardware. Solid. If only you'd ever make a 2X and 3X. I am on the next run. I just can't order more merch till that merch is gone. And that merch is almost gone. So close to being gone. So close. So close. Tanner, leave me some at the shop and I'll send you $signs. KJ, what size you need? Let me know what size you need. I got you. I got you. And how many you need. What up? What up? Omi? Every time. What's up with the EG33? We talked about it. The heads are coming back Sunday. Heads cams, head studs coming back Sunday. The short block will ship out like Tuesday or Wednesday. So by next weekend, we will have the EG33 back in the garage. We will just have to assemble it all. So it's very soon. Very soon, my friends. So is it you or Matt that smokes? I saw the black ash on the bottom of the lighter in the old video. We both do. I mean, it's a bad habit, to be honest. I've been trying to quit. I've actually cut back a very significant amount. But we both do. Terrible habit. Don't start smoking, anyone. Don't do it. Don't do it. Good evening, Tanner and fellow viewers. What's going on, Eric? Would I be fine with access port, exhaust, and intake? Yeah, you'd be fine with that. Just get a tune for it and solid. I mean, it comes with a tune. You can use the access port to tune it. Smash that like button. That's what I'm saying. Does your Cobb bypass valve make noises? Not really. I mean, it shouldn't make noises. It's just recirculating all the air back into the intake tract, so it shouldn't. 6 days till mine is dropped off, and bam, 4 to 450 wheel horsepower. That's what I'm saying. That's what I like. That's what I like to see. 09 STI, I've asked you already, but going to have to ask one more time. I did a complete timing belt job, and either having an issue bleeding the system or have a blown gasket. After I drive the car for 10 minutes, coolant bubbles rises from the reservoir that sits on the radiator. Bigger bubbles, not small pinhole bubbles. What determines head gasket for sure? They make these like head gasket testers you can put on the cooling system where it's got like a green liquid in it, and if it reacts to like any like CO2 from the exhaust, it'll turn like blue, or it might be blue and then it turns green, something along those lines. They're like $5 for one of the testers. You can grab one of those if you want just to check. But if it is compression or exhaust that's getting into the cooling system causing it to bubble, then obviously it is going to be a head gasket problem. But you'll see like pressure coming out from the cooling system as well. If it's blown to the point where oil might be getting into the coolant, then you see that yellow frothy pee looking stuff, and it's just, you don't want that. But if you just want a cheap way to test it, just grab one of those testers. They're like $5-10. You just screw it right onto the reservoir, and if the color changes to a certain color, then you know you got a bad head gasket. Also, did you know they did nothing to prevent the ringland on the 19 plus block? Same problem, and probably the only problem we have with these cars. They revised the ring gap, I know that much. They did revise the ring gap on those ones. Ask my tuner, by the way, he says E85 tends to condense a little more when it's cold, but I'm not convinced fully. E85 does tend to condense a little bit more when it's cold. You'll get a little bit of moisture building up on like the top of the oil cap, can drip back down into the oil, and you'll get like that frothy pee looking stuff again. Totally normal. It happens. That's why like E85 cold starts can be a huge pain in the wintertime too. The fuel just doesn't like to ignite. The channel is a great inspiration to get my FXT on the road. That's what I like. I like FXTs. Really need to give my daily G35 some rest maintenance here soon. It damn sure needs it. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Hey, Tanner, what should I look for when buying a used? You asked me that already. That's a lot of flow. Very nice. That's what I'm saying. Flow. Get the lobby done. Working on it. Smitty, do you know if the Cobb access port works on JDM right-hand drive Subarus? If you have a USDM or an AUD? If you have a USDM or an Australian ECU, then yes, it will. If you have a JDM ECU, then no. Fitment Industries will price match. There you go. I didn't know Fitment Industries price matched. There you go. There we go. Didn't know that. How do you install base map from your email? You're going to hook up your access port to your computer. You're going to open the program called Access Tuner. You're going to drag the map into Access Tuner, and then you're going to upload it to your access port. Then you take the access port back out to your car, you plug it into the OBD2, and then you download the map onto the ECU, and bam! Base map on your car. I'm in Appleton too. I don't know where Appleton is. What's up? What's up, Ronaldo? You know the T-Rex life. That's what I do, unfortunately. Or losing the tool. I've done. Oh my god, that's the worst. I've had it where like I always wear hoodies whenever I'm like out working on the cars. I've had like sockets, like bolts, nuts fall into my hood, and then I'm like crawling around under the car for like 20, 25 minutes trying to find something. And then I stand up and I shake out my hood and just bloop, 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 bloop. There it goes. That's the most frustrating thing when working under the car. When will the first start on the blob be? Probably early February or the end of January. Like I said, I'm waiting on the header, the downpipe, and the intercooler to show up. Once all that shows up, then we can actually start getting the car like started, bled, burped, and test drive it. Hey, howdy do? What's going on, Fishy Dish? Fishy Dish. Speedia, by the way, I'm on 1300cc and 340 pump. You may run out of fuel pump after 23 to 24 psi, depending on injector. DW400 will not fit. Ask me how I know. How do you know? I'm guessing you tried it and it didn't fit. No, I talked to Chris. We're not going to be running more than 21 to 23 psi on the FP Black. That should get us around 450 wheel horsepower, no problem. We're first going to start up at 400 wheel horsepower. We're going to get the car set to 400, see how the car's responding. If it feels like it's responding well, we're going to push to like 430. If it still feels like it's doing good, 450. But remember, we got like cams, everything in there, so we should be solid. We should be solid. If you could have boosted the 350Z like the BRZ, would you have kept it? No! The 350Z broke all the time. It was the stupidest thing, too. I have no idea what was wrong with that car. Like, Nissan had no idea what was wrong with that car either. So my old 350Z, it was a 2004 350Z. It was just a VQ35DE. Wasn't the rev up, wasn't the HR or anything like that. That car, whenever I hit 75 miles an hour, would turn off. It would just turn off. For like some stupid reason. Took it to Nissan. Nissan had no idea. Gave up, sold the car. And then the dude I sold it to crashed it like a month later. It was sad. It was sad. I liked that car. No, it will fit. LOL. It will fit. Oh, it will fit. That is good. That is good. Also appreciate the dono. It will fit. It will. DW400 will fit. Will fit. I misread that one. I do apologize. But like I said, if JDM ECU... no go. That was the same question, right? Was that the same question? That was a different question. Same but different. Same but different. Dynos read torque and calculate horsepower numbers. So horsepower. See, that's what I'm saying. Dynos are like hit or miss. Like they're all subjective. I miss seeing the VA. The VA will be back in like 3 weeks. The VA will be back in the garage, and then we're gonna be working on the VA. We're gonna be working on the VA a lot. We have a lot to do. So the game plan for the VA, for anyone who's curious on the EG33 going in that car, when I get the long block, or when I get the short block and the heads back, we're going to assemble the long block. We're going to temporarily install the motor into the car. We'll bolt it up to the transmission. I want to make sure motor mounts fit. I want to make sure pitch stop mount is still solid. It should be. We need to get the turbo ordered. We need to get the ECU ordered. We need to get the intercooler core ordered. The ECU is going to be on standby because I'm not in a huge rush for that one. But we do need to get the intercooler core and the turbo ordered. So that way, once we get those here, we can take it to the fabricator. He can make our exhaust manifold. He can modify our intake manifold. He can make our downpipe, and he can do our intercooler piping. So there's going to be a lot going on with that car, a lot of stuff. We're also going to be doing the fuel system stuff, just because I already have the fuel rails, injectors, fuel pressure regulator, ton of stuff, ton of things, ton of stuff. So there's going to be a lot of VA chassis content coming up here soon. Hey, Smedia, what's going on, Chase? Hey, man, I have a 2019 STI looking for 350 wheel horsepower. I live in Spokane and will have a domain, they recommend. Blausch 1.5 XTR, downpipe. I have a 2019 looking for 350. They recommend Blausch 1.5R XTR. I mean, it's a good turbo. I don't really understand the question of what you're asking, though. If you're looking for like a turbo for like 350 wheel horsepower, FP Blue, 1.5 XTR, Cobb 20G, all good turbos to be able to hit 350 wheel horsepower. But I don't quite understand what you're asking me here. Anyways, go ahead, throw it in the chat, and we can clarify that. Smedia, my GD chassis moans and groans. Does yours? I don't even know what that means. Like it squeaks? Like it makes a lot of squeaks? I don't know if mine does. I've only driven it 3 times. I've only driven it 3 times. I have no idea. No idea. Your bad, get better. What? I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means, Benjamin. Wish my 04 didn't get stolen. Ooh, I'm sorry to hear. I'm sorry to hear. That's why I'm a big fan of like security systems, dash cams, all that stuff. I just don't trust people when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like, people steal cars all the time. I'm just not a fan of it. Where did I just go? What year? What year? I don't even know what that one's in conjunction to either. Down pot. I just got an airbag recall done on my 05 ST. I have to do the same thing. I need to go take mine and do the same thing. Where's your SRT video? I have CE SRT4. We have like one SRT video up on the channel. It was when Matt and I installed the motor and the transmission back into the SRT. But we were just talking about Matt's gonna order some parts for the SRT here shortly, so that way we can get some more SRT stuff going on. Get some more SRT goodies. We need to get that car running this year. I had the recall on the airbag before it got jacked. That's unfortunate. Hopefully that airbag recall didn't get fixed and the jacker gets smacked by the airbag. That'd be good karma. If I'm not able to fully service my WRX on my own after watching all your videos, something is wrong with me. Fave channel, keep up the good work, brother. Hey, that's what I'm saying. Appreciate it, my man. It's not too bad to service cars. It's not too bad to work on them. Subarus are Legos. They're easy to take apart, put back together. They're fun. What's your boost going to be on the EG33? Are you going to be running E85? Yes, we are going to be running E85. As for how much PSI we're running, I'm probably going to estimate around 40 to 45 PSI is what that motor is going to be pushing for boost. So we're going to be making a lot of PSI in that car, a lot of PSIs. What's a proper dam number to show and AF correction? AF correction is going to kind of be based upon like how the car is actually running and like how the tune is set up, but it shouldn't be like crazy off from like 1, I believe. I would check Cobb's website for the AF correction on that one. As for DAM, it depends on the car you have. If you have a 16-bit ECU like the early 02 to 05 WRXs, DAM should be 16. If you have any other year, it should be 1.00. Nice, had the get a DOM. It's a must. It is a must. Would you recommend putting an air oil separator on a 2-year-old WRX for longevity, even if it would void the warranty? Somewhat. 100%. Like, I'm totally down for it. I void all my warranties. It kind of depends on, like, do you feel comfortable voiding the warranty if something were to happen, or for giving a reason for the dealer to potentially void a warranty claim? I'm totally fine with doing all of that because you guys have seen I can, like, tear that car apart, put it back together, no problem. But for someone who doesn't fully understand and fully know how the car goes together, how it all works, it can be a little daunting to consider avoiding the warranty. If you are comfortable with doing that, then by all means, I do suggest getting an air oil separator. If you are not comfortable, like digging into the car, if something were to go wrong, wait till the warranty's up at minimum, so that way you don't have to worry about it. If something does break, it's already on you to fix it anyways. Personal suggestion on that one. Brandon, hey, what's up? What's up? I'm finding some tannish yellow gunk in the breather lines. Totally normal. They gave me in the breather lines. People tell me it's from condensation, not driving long enough. Yeah, so if you're doing like short trips from like your house to the gas station to back, you're not fully letting everything like cycle up, so the condensation that is in there will combine with the oil. It'll make that like yellow gunky looking stuff. It'll be in the breather lines. You can totally like blow them out if you wanted to. I did clean out all the breather lines in my car when I had it completely torn apart. But yeah, it happens. Short drives are just more prone to like making more gunk build up in there. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Oh, I made a contact with a Volkswagen tuner near me today. Hey, nice. They gave me a list of maintenance items to check before making an appointment. Nice. That was very nice of them. At least they're helping you out. Okay, Chase. Hey, man. Stock 19 SEI, keeping the downpipe, keeping stock block, and want 350 horsepower. Going to Tier 1 in Spokane from Spokane. Time from Dom, Blouch 1.5, catted downpipe, ID 1050s, and other supporting parts sound doable. 100% sounds doable. 100%. You're not going to be able to do that on the stock turbo. Obviously, you already have Blouch 1.5 in there, but yeah, 100% doable. You can do that, man. You can easily do that. 100%. Tom's like a super knowledgeable guy when it comes to tuning Subarus. He's a little rough on the outside, but deep down he cares. Deep down he cares. 2020 STL, 426 wheel horsepower, 415 torque. Should I keep pushing to 480 or get forged pistons and rods? I like to push the bounds of stock blocks, but 2020 Type RA short block, people are making like 500, 550 on the Type RA short block. Could just be pure luck. Could be that they actually are stronger. If it were me, I would push it. If it blows, just swap the block anyways. Assuming that it doesn't get like metal particulate all throughout the oiling system and completely demolish everything else. I would push it. I would push the stock block more. Do you have an idea why my tile doesn't make that much noise? My HKS used to be crazy. HKS is just a loud blow-off valve in comparison to tile. Tile's just not a crazy... I'm guessing you have the tile Q blow-off valve. They're just not crazy loud. They're not crazy loud like the HKSs are. It's unfortunate. If you want something like crazy loud, consider swapping it out for something like an HKS again. Tanner just got the Cobb Stage 1 Plus 2019 STI. Scared to void warranty. But is the Stage 1 Plus time with big SF pretty safe tune compared to stock tune? Live in Spokane. So I mean, honestly, even a stock tune is an OTS tune. If you're fine running that one, if you don't mind voiding the warranty, I wouldn't be too worried about it, especially on a Stage 1 Plus. If you're just running intake and a tune, I mean, I wouldn't be too out of the bounds crazy worried about something like that. My Cobb bypass valve goes swoosh when I close the throttle. Interesting. Mine does not. Mine has never made a swoosh noise. My intake makes noise, but the bypass valve I've never had make noise. Switch to edibles or dab oils. I haven't touched flour more than a... Oh no! Oh, you totally got that mixed up. I don't smoke weed or the devil's lettuce. I don't do that. No, I've been like smoking cigarettes for a long time. Terrible habit. No devil's lettuce over here. Would you know why my 2019 WRX STI has random power surges when driving in low RPM? No major mods done, just turbo back straight pipe to the tip. So if you have a turbo back and it's straight piped, you don't have a catalytic converter in the car. If you don't have a catalytic converter in the car and it's stock tune, you're going to overboost. And overboosting is when you're going to get that random surge of power. It's when your car's tuned for like 20 PSI and then you're going to... My house looks haunted. It is haunted. But that I totally lost where I was. The overboosting is what's going to cause that random surge in power. If you have a straight pipe from the turbo back, that is going to be your issue on that one. Get a catalytic converter in there, my friend. What are normal voltage for the upstream O2 sensor? 2.2 volts, or it should not go over 0.9 volts. I don't know off the top of my head. I'd have to look at like Naziok or something for that one. I don't know. I cannot help you on that one. I would Google or search Naziok for the answer on that one. Random voltages for sensors, I don't store that information, unfortunately. Just got the... Didn't we? We just talked about this. Chase, no need to double comment, man. I will get to it. I promise. I promise. Get a catch can and mount it low. What are we mounting low? Big DM. Big DM. I like it. I can get behind that. What are we mounting low? I don't know what that one's in reference to. If there is still air in the system, would it bubble from the overflow tank? Yes, because it's the highest point in the system, so all the air is going to try to escape through the highest point. So yeah, it would bubble from the coolant overflow or the expansion. Are you talking about, is the air still, would it still bubble? Is it bubbling from the overflow or the coolant expansion tank, the upper tank? If it's bubbling from the overflow, it shouldn't be, and then you might have compression getting into the cooling system. I would just do a compression test. Just do a compression test. Make it easy on yourself. That'll give you the answer for if you have a blown gasket right away or not. Love how you always bring the energy, man. Dude, I'm always full of energy. Always. It's a dangerous time to be alive. Is it normal for my access port to make a low whining noise while on? No. Also, IDK, what certain parameters should reach before I can safely push the car? I have an entire video dedicated to that one on what you should monitor and what safe and normal parameters are, Austin. I would definitely go check that one out. Just like Google SMedia, Cobb access port parameters or something like that, and it should pull up. As for the whining noise, it should not make a whining noise. I've never had one make a whining noise, at least. Maybe other people's have made a whining noise, but mine has not. I just bought a used 15 WRX. Should I leave the real-time tune OTS map or completely get retuned? Different state, Colorado to New Mexico. I would get retuned because you just changed the elevation and the borrow pressure from where you were to where you are now living. So yes, 100% I would suggest getting retuned. Hey Tanner, Pacific Northwest local here. What's going on, Mark? Recently got my Killer Bee external wastegate headers installed. Since there's 2 holes at the bottom that scrape the pan now, should I be worried about the water salt getting into the wastegate? I wouldn't be worried about it. What salt? There's no salt up here. We don't salt the roads up here. Unless you're on like the east side of the Pacific Northwest, then they might salt the roads. I don't know. But as for like worrying about getting salt up in there, I wouldn't worry about it too much. It should just be the dump tubes. The dump tubes are going to scrape every single like WRX that I've seen that runs like Killer Bee headers with the two 38mm wastegates. All of them, they're just all scraped up. Every single one. Totally normal. Just keep an eye on it. Just make sure that it doesn't get to the point where it's going to be damaging the wastegate or anything like that. 25 more days. Ayo! That's what I'm saying. Wow, that's a pretty dark story with the 350. The 350Z was a dark car. The thing had a lot of problems. A lot of problems. The dude didn't die when he crashed it. Let me throw that out. He was just fine. Just fine. How do you feel about the Cobb fuel pressure regulator? What other kit do you recommend for stock TGV and fuel lines? If you're looking for stock TGV and fuel lines, I mean, the real only option out there that people do for like plug and play applications is the Cobb one. The Cobb one's not bad. I do think it's a little overpriced for what it is, but if you're looking to do like a full standalone system, you can. With the fuel line or with the stock lines, you can run an Aeromotive A1000 if you really wanted to. You just got to make some AN lines, which honestly aren't that bad. I showed you guys how to make those lines the other day too. You're trying for 1,000 wheel horsepower on the VA, right? Yes. Gonna need the 6-speed built, aren't you? I've heard they're good for like 550 to 600. No, people push those 6 speeds hard. People push them way hard. I've seen stock STI 6 speeds hold like 8 to 900 wheel horsepower before. If I'm going to run the transmission as is in the car, if it blows up, we'll pull out the trans, we'll build the trans. But that is not a huge priority at the moment. The stock trans hopefully will hold. We'll find out though. We will find out. We're going to test it. We're going to test how far it will. It auto-corrected. It is Dom at tier 1. Knew it. Knew it. Dom's a really good guy. Like I said, he's hard and crusty on the outside, but deep down on the inside, he cares. He's a nice person. Just bought a V9 EJ207 today. Ooh, very good buy. Very good buy. My buddy does. Mike Smith's your buddy does. Your buddy does. Swap coming soon. 100%, my man. Swap is coming soon. It's coming. It's coming. Just give it like 3 weeks, then we're going to start on the swapped car. Where did I just go? What up, bud? What up, Cam? What turbo will you be using on the EG33 FP Black or way bigger? It's way bigger. Let me pull it up and we can take a peek. We can take a peek at the turbo. I think it's this one. It is this one. Ooh, Ferocious Motorsports. Where's the turbo? There it is. So this is the turbo that we're going to be running on the STI. It is or on the 17 STI, the VA one, or the VA chassis. It's a Precision 7685 Gen 2 capable of 1,350 horsepower. I'd like to have the extra room with the turbo. This thing's going to have a lot of lag. I'm going to be straight up on it. It's going to have a lot of lag. Even though it's a 6-cylinder, it's going to have a hefty amount of lag. But it's a massive turbo. Like, can I find like a photo of this thing like in comparison to like what it actually might look like? There it is. Bam. That is the turbo that we're going to be running in the STI. It is huge. It's a big turbo. It's a good looking turbo. It's a good looking big turbo. It's a massive turbo. It's a lot bigger than I thought it was. Well, I knew it was a big turbo, but it's a hefty turbo. It's like as big as my head. Ooh, this one's like all polished and looks nice. All polished and looks nice. But yeah, it's a massive turbo. Precision 7685. This thing will eat an FP Black for like breakfast and lunch, and then spit it out and eat it again for dinner. I don't even know if that's a thing, but that's probably what would happen. What are the main differences from fully building an EJ207 versus a 257? I mean, you have 2-liter versus 2.5 liter. If you're going to be doing a hybrid build, depending on what heads you're going to use, you use B25, W25 heads. The EJ207 from the I don't really see a lot of benefits in building EJ207s unless you specifically want a 2-liter. I believe the 2-liters rev a little bit quicker also than the 2.5s. But typically, whenever I see people buy 207s, they're buying them just to replacement blocks to get up to around like 380, 400 wheel horsepower and hold it there. When people build 2.5s or the EJ25s, they're shooting for a lot more power. Typically, they're shooting for like 500, 600, 700, 1,000 plus if you're batter built or something like that. 207s I just kind of see as like drop-in replacement motors if you're just wanting to get the car running and do like a decent amount of power, typically under like 400 wheel horsepower. I meant Garrett or Precision. Garrett. Garrett is what I'm using. Or not Garrett, Precision. I'm going with Precision. Holy boost! That's what I'm saying, like 45, or like 40 to 45 PSI is what I'm guessing. How about some Outback videos? Try to make it go faster. Wish I had the turbo. So I've been talking with Matt and his Outback. He wants to do some more work to Chewy here soon. We're looking at some like other parts. He wants to go rotate it on that car, which we might do in the future. Like I said, the Outback is entirely his. We have a Legacy that we have to rebuild also that blew up. So hopefully we can get some of those videos coming here soon too. Also appreciate the dono. Ravenchild, my friend. Always appreciate the donos, guys. You guys always kill it. So you remember when I sent you the Facebook lifting of the Impreza and you said not to get it? I got it. Well, was it at least worth it? Like, does it run fine? I mean, just based off of what I saw on the Facebook ad, it just didn't seem like a ton of information was posted about the car. Hopefully it does run good and there's like no issues with it, but let me know. Let me know, dude. What's up, my dude? Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you, my friend. Where did I just go? Don't be too afraid of the airbag. I've had a few go off on me when I got T-boned by an ambulance chaser in my first 06 G35. Didn't affect me at all. I was also a Takata recall earlier. Ooh, I mean, I don't want to get hit by an airbag if I can, like, avoid it. Like, no one wants to get smacked in the face by an airbag. Hey, could you explain what you need to go ED5 on a 2005 STI? You're going to need a fuel pump. You're going to need fuel line, fuel rails, injectors, fuel pressure regulator, E85 obviously, and a tune, and obviously a flex fuel sensor. You don't have to do the fuel line, you don't have to do the fuel line, the fuel rails, or any of that stuff if you don't want to, but I highly suggest doing it. Some people do run stock lines and stock rails on E85. I just see a bigger benefit in swapping out the fuel lines and the injectors and all that other stuff, fuel rails, just to get more adequate flow. Hey dude, how you doing? What up, Butterfly Effect? I saw you emailed back earlier. I gotta email you back. I want to send you that rod that rod and see if you can do something with that. I think it'd be cool. Make a knife out of a rod. Why not? Hey bro, what is the way you prefer to break in a new motor? Just got the Hawkeye back from the shop. If it's a brand new motor and you're just trying to break it in, just follow. If it's like an OE motor, just drive it like you normally would. Do like normal driving around. Don't go past like 3K RPM. Don't be getting to boost too much so you hit like 1,000 miles. If it is a built motor, follow the instructions from whoever the engine builder was of how they want you to break in the motor. I can't, all builders say to like break in their motors a little bit differently, so I can't justify and say like this is the only way to break in a motor, this is the way you should be breaking in a motor. That is totally up to the engine builder. If it's an OEM replacement block, just go drive the car normally, stay under 3K RPM, try to stay under 4K RPM at minimum for the first 1,000 miles, and try not to get too far into boost either. LS swap. That'd be a badass for that. LS swap would be cool. I've seen a couple of them. Hey Tanner, what's going on? What's going on this evening, boy? Living in the same strange, crazy times right now. Makes me kind of weird. I totally feel it, Ben. Totally feel it, my man. It's the devil's lettuce, though. It is not the devil's lettuce, unfortunately. Ever seen an AEM X series say test and not be able to cycle through the... I have not. I've never seen it be... I've never even seen it say test before. I would reach out to AEM on that one and see what might be going on. It could be a bad sensor. It could be a wire that just might not be getting enough voltage. Not entirely sure. Not entirely sure on that one. I would reach out to AEM. AEM has really good customer service when it comes to that stuff. A stock or rotated turbo setup for 500 wheel horsepower. Well, if you hate yourself, do stock location. If you honestly want to do it a little bit easier on yourself, rotated makes things a lot easier for fitment, clearing things. Like even after doing the FP Black in the 05 STI, if I were to do another turbo that big in stock location, I just wouldn't want to do it. Rotated just makes more sense. I mean, the turbo inlet wasn't as bad as people made it out to be, but just clearing everything and having enough room to actually fit everything in there nicely, it's just not fun. If you want 500 wheel horsepower, I would say, and you're open to going rotated, I would highly suggest going rotated over stock location. For some just getting into the Subi game, what's the best starter car? Best starter car in my opinion is a GD WRX, 100% GD WRX. There's a ton of aftermarket support for it. They're cheaper than all of the other WRXs. They're a good platform to learn on, and you're gonna experience some problems with them. Well, that'll like give you a thicker skin when it comes to Subarus. Then like whatever newer Subarus throw at you will seem like a walk in the park. because all the bolts will be like nice, new, and fresh. The dogs are barking. That means car parts are here. Car parts are here. I need those for tomorrow anyways. Anyways, where did I just go? Will I have a custom stage 2 tune? Thanks to Clark's Tuning. Even with a custom tune, you're still going to experience overboosting with an internal wastegate and a straight pipe turbo back. It's just how it goes. And it still power surges. Tuner can't figure it out. I've not touched any of the wiring either. Like I said, even with a Pro Tune on the car, you're still going to overboost with a catless downpipe and an internal wastegate. It's just the nature of how it works. You can't fully get all of the exhaust gas through the internal wastegate in a timely manner, so it has to go somewhere, so it's going to backtrack through the turbo, and you're going to end up getting boost creep. It is just the nature of the game with running a catless downpipe and an internal wastegate. Hello, small dog. Are you, like, stretching in the doorway? Do you have car parts? She has car parts. She's pushing him down the stairs.
Car parts are lead.
Car parts are lead?
Ugh.
Is it, like, super heavy?
I can't lift that one.
You can't lift it? Come on. Did you just... Hold up. I gotta grab these car parts real quick. They're, like, right outside the door.
I'm gonna throw my back. That's heavy.
What do you mean it's heavy?
That one.
Did they shove him all in here? Oh, I'm gonna throw
Oh
up.
my god, be careful. You're not helping, buddy. Thank you.
Ah!
Are you okay?
He's fine. It didn't get him.
Are you okay?
Here, give... You know what? We're just gonna leave that there. We're just gonna leave...
It's trying to help.
We're just gonna leave that there. We're not even gonna try to grab those. Small dog almost just got crushed by a whole bunch of brake rotors. Are you good? Are you good? You can't help with that. You can't pick things up, dude.
I'm gonna grab him a cookie.
You're gonna get him a cookie? You almost got crushed. You legit almost just got crushed. Alright, well, no, you're chilling here now. You're chilling here. Dude almost died. Small dog almost just got crushed.
Cookie.
Oh. Yep, there we go. There we go. Oh, he's gonna hang out here now. Dude, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't try to help with brake rotors. Well, so we got our rotors in. Small dog tried to help carry the boxes and almost got totally taken out by 4 rotors.
Boxes are foreign.
Well, why did they put 4 brake rotors in one box? They put all the brake rotors in one box for some reason. Do you know how heavy that is? Stop. Do they hear you, like, eat this?
He thinks it's for him.
I know. Oh my god, he almost just demolished himself. You good? Here, have another one. Here, have another. Dude's crazy. Dude's crazy. My access port... brake rotors? There should be 4.
I only see 3. Oh, no, there's 4.
I was about to say, they only sent 3 brake rotors?
No, I think the other one is the one that came out first.
Oh, gotcha. Alright, small dog's fine. He didn't get crushed. His tail's wagging. He got cookies. He's solid. Dude's ridiculous. Almost got crushed by brake rotors. 2020 STI.
And Super Blue.
Oh, we got coolant? How did that not get crushed? Was that in the same box as all the brake rotors?
Yeah.
How? How did that not get crushed? They, like, taped this. What is that? Was it, like, leaking in there? Like, let's just put masking tape over the top of it. That'll stop the leaks.
Jaeger, you want to come upstairs with me, buddy?
He's like, no, I'm good. I don't understand. Okay, nope, there he goes. All right, back to what we were doing. Now that the series of events where the small dog almost got crushed by some brake rotors, he's solid. He's fine. He's good. He's good. 2020 STI, what could I push horsepower-wise on stock internals reliably? 2020 STI Type RA short block, those have been known to handle a little over 500 wheel horsepower. If you want to play it safe, I would probably shoot for like 450-ish without having to worry too much about the internals blowing up. Finally locked down my build, and I'm lifting the STI 2 inches. Why would you not be able to watch the video still? Yeah, I see plenty of lifted STIs. I like it. I like the idea. I decided against the Dodge Daytona for a 1988 Dodge Aries. Oh. American sedan with 3-speed automatic. 3 on the tree? Is that what they call them? Automatic transmission, Chrysler's 2.5i 4-cylinder NA non-turbo. Why would you get the non-turbo? The turbo's always where it's at. Turbos! We like the turbos. I bought a Bug Eye a few weeks ago, and it came with a Tomei turbo inlet. Hey, mine did too, and I pulled it off. Pulled that thing off. And aftermarket intake. I was looking around online, and it doesn't specify if a tune is required or not. So intake does require a tune. Turbo inlet does not require a tune. Also, Plumber, appreciate the dono, dude. Still waiting to get my car back. 2 weeks in. I would suspect that it's going to take them a little while. I'm guessing probably up to a month to get that short block replaced. But unfortunately, it's the game we play. At least they're covering it under warranty too, so that way you're not paying out of pocket for it. I started to go more in the lines of practicality and fuel economy and comfort versus performance. I don't blame you. I've been there before with some cars that I have. Think I might have Ricer fever about to wrap my car in 2 colors. Nothing wrong with that. I wrapped my car. I wrapped the BRZ in 2 colors. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You gonna paint the front mount intercooler pipes and cold side of the turbo and make it look pretty? On the 17 STI, yes. On the Blob Eye, no. Sup, my dude. Happy Friday. That's what I'm talking. That's what I'm saying. Got off for a second. You may have answered, but purchased a Stage 1 Plus kit for my 19 STI. Would you say 100%? I mean, even a stock tune is an OTS tune. If you're fine and comfortable avoiding the warranty, by all means, get the Stage 1 kit. Get it. I'm all for it. I like it. I like the idea. That is a big snail. What size housing are you going for? I don't remember. What is the housing on the one that I was looking at? I don't remember. Plumber, appreciate the dono, dude. Tanner, I've been drinking. I just want to say you're the man, homie. Hey, appreciate it, my friend. Always appreciate the donos. And what is the drink of choice tonight? What is the drink of choice? I'm gonna guess like whiskey or bourbon is what you're sipping on, Plumber. That is my guess. I don't know how accurate that guess may be, but that's my guess. So for the Precision 7685, this one looks like it is a 76mm compressor wheel with a we'll just say 3-inch inducer and a 4-inch exducer. Those are fun words to say. Fun words. It's a big turbo. I know that much. Big turbo should flow. How many pounds per minute does it flow? 5-inch inlet. Woo! It's a big inlet. How much do you flow? You're not gonna say on here, are you? Of course not. I don't remember how much it flowed. Flowed a ton. Flowed a ton last time I looked at this thing. I want to say it was like 145 psi per minute or something like that. Don't remember. Blubber! Ah, Yangling. We don't get that. We don't get that here. Isn't that only sold, what is it, east of the Mississippi? I think that's the only place Yinglings are sold, I believe. We don't get them up here. We have like Rainier. As much as like Rainier is good, I wouldn't mind some like Yinglings. We talked about that one. Talked about that. Where did I just go? I gotta go, but have a good night. Hey, you too, Cam. Hey, Mr. 3XE, what did I miss? You know, we just been kicking it, chilling, relaxing, hanging out, you know, talking about stuff. Hell yeah, it's smooth. Came with a tuner, and I'm gonna get a chassis mounted wing. Big wang gang. Nothing wrong with big wangs. I had some big wangs. I like big wangs. Big wangs. Go to a stage rally, Tanner. It's a fun time. I would like to. They have Dirtfish Racing is actually out here, and it would be really fun to be able to get out to like Dirtfish for a day or something like that. I've never done any type of like rally driving before. It'd be fun. It'd be a good experience too. Yeah, I seen some nitwit today in Whiteville, North Carolina, while I was at a stoplight. Just blew up his Honda Civic right beside us as we were pulling away. Ooh, maybe scared of turbos. I mean, his car probably wasn't like running optimally. Totally happens. I want to fight the milk. I don't know what that means, but I'm down for it. We're fighting. I don't even like milk. We're fighting the milk though. Hate this. Why do you hate this? Why do you hate this? Snipe Gaming. Feel free to elaborate on that. Hey, I also appreciate the $2, Plumber. You're killing it tonight, dude. Killing it with the Yinglings too. You know any good tuners for a Blob Eye down in Miami? I don't even know any tuners down in Miami. I know New School Racing opened up down there. I don't think they're doing any tuning right now, but I don't know any actual tuners down in the Miami area. If anyone else does, please help out Nicholas up here because I don't know any. What are your thoughts on ECU Tech versus Cobb Access Port? Cobb Access Port is a lot more user-friendly than ECU Tech, but in some areas where the Access Port is not an option, the ECU Tech is a very good route to go. I had the ECU Tech on the BRZ. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but by all means, the ECU Tech is a very good option, if that is your only option. Anyone selling an Impreza GC8 by chance? I am not. Someone else might be. Someone else might be, but I am not. Okay, thanks. Gonna switch to a catted downpipe. 100%. Unbox! I got one that I can still open. I actually do want to open one of these. One of them's just brake rotors. Brake rotors are not fun to, like, look at. And they're heavy, and I don't want to pick them up right now. Of course, my knife is in the other room. I've got scissors, though. Got some scissors. I do want to look in this box because I am a little bit curious on one of these things. This should just be stainless steel lines. I'm guessing that's all that's in this box. Boop. No way! It's a box! So, stainless steel brake lines for the rear of the STI. That one's not very exciting. But this is the one that I was curious about. So, wow, that's nice! So, this is the new power steering line for the 05 STI with the FP Black Turbo inlet. I actually like this a lot more than I thought I would. That's supposed to reach the... That's supposed to reach the steering rack? How is that supposed to reach the steering rack? No way that's going to reach the steering rack. There's no way. Maybe it will. Interesting. Well, that'll be a fun one to play with. I heard these fittings suck to get in. There's 2 O-rings that I know go on like the power steering rack side. Not looking forward to this install by any means. All the reviews on this say the install sucks. Hopefully it's not as bad. Hopefully it's not as bad as it's supposed to be. We'll find out though. What time is it right now? What time is it? 7:33. All right, I have to hop off of here, you guys. I have to edit tomorrow's video still. So the Discord is fire. The Discord is fire. If you guys haven't joined the Discord, go join the Discord. But like I said, I have to go edit. Well, I have to sit here and edit tomorrow's video anyways. So I have to hop off. I might throw in an extra live stream this weekend, either Saturday or Sunday at some point. Don't know quite yet. But anyways, I do appreciate all the donos that you guys had tonight. I always appreciate all your guys' time whenever you guys swing through the live streams as well. If I didn't get to your question tonight, which I feel like I was doing a pretty good job keeping up with questions tonight, but if I didn't get to yours, bring it to the next live stream. But I'm gonna go edit some videos. Like I said, I hope everyone has an awesome weekend, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.